When your spouse dies, most people assume you simply keep their CPP pension on top of your own, and that's wrong. At age 65 and up, the maximum survivor's pension in 2026 is just $904.59 a month according to Service Canada, versus a maximum retirement pension of $1,107.65. Here's the mechanism nobody explains and why it can quietly erase over $100,000 from a widow's retirement. I read the fine print so you don't have to. In plain terms, the survivor's pension is only a slice of your spouse's CPP, 60% if you're 65 or older, or 37.5% plus a flat rate if you're under 65 according to Service Canada. But that's only the first layer, because a second rule then caps your own CPP and the survivor benefit added together, and that's where most of the money disappears. Let's walk through the stages. If you're 65 or older, the survivor's pension is 60% of your late spouse's CPP retirement pension, per Service Canada, and in 2026 that maxes out at $904.59 a month. So even if your spouse earned the full pension of $107.65, the most that ever converts into a survivor benefit is $904.59. You lose the other 40% overnight. Now, if your spouse dies before you turn 65, the math is different again. You get a flat rate portion plus 37.5% of their retirement pension. In 2026, that tops out at $803.54 a month, but Service Canada shows the average new under 65 survivor benefit is only $549.62. So younger survivors often start with just a few $100s a month, not a second full pension. Here's the stage that surprises everyone, the combined benefit limit. Your own CPP and your survivor pension added together can't go above a set ceiling, which Service Canada puts at $1,131.56 a month at age 65 in 2026, barely more than one full retirement pension. So the closer your own CPP already is to that ceiling, the less room there is for any survivor benefit at all. And this is the counterintuitive part. The more successful your own CPP history, the less of your spouse's you keep. In a widely cited 2019 example, a survivor already earning about $1,450 on their own received no survivor benefit whatsoever, while someone at $1,000 received only up to $150 more. Two high earners in a couple can lose most of one entire pension when the first one dies. Let me make this concrete. Linda is 62 in Ontario, expecting her own CPP of about $900 a month at 65, and her husband Mark gets around $1,400, close to the 2026 maximum. Like most people, Linda assumes that if Mark dies, she'll keep his $1,400 on top of her own, roughly $2,300 a month combined. The rules say otherwise, and the gap is brutal. Here's how it actually plays out. 60% of Mark's $400 is $840, but add that to Linda's own $900 and you get $1,840 over the ceiling. So the 2026 combined cap of $1,931.56 takes over, meaning Linda ends up roughly $768 a month short of what she expected, about $9,200 a year. Before I get to the last part, the piece that turns that annual gap into a six-figure hole, this is the number to hold on to. This is the strongest point, and I saved it for last. Linda's $768 a month shortfall isn't a one-time hit. It recurs every single month for the rest of her life. Over a 20-year widowhood, that's roughly $184,000 in CPP income she planned around and never sees, based on 2026 figures. If this breakdown is useful, subscribe. The next one's already coming. One more thing the brochure buries. All of these amounts are indexed and change every year, so figures you read even a few years ago are already wrong. The 2026 combined cap is $1,031.56, but in 2021 it was cited around $175. 83 low, the rules stay the same, the numbers don't. Always confirm the current year's maximums before you plan around them. So what do you do with this? First, sign in to my Service Canada account and look at your estimated CPP retirement pension, then compare it to the 2026 maximum of $1,007.65. If you're already close to that number, understand that a survivor benefit will barely move the needle for you. The cap will eat most of it. Second, do the survivor math on paper. 37.5% plus the flat rate if under 65, 60% if 65 or older, and check both against Service Canada's caps. Then, crucially, build your retirement plan assuming household CPP drops sharply when the first spouse dies. And cover that gap with RRSPs, a workplace pension or life insurance. Planning for one pension instead of two is how you avoid a $180,000 surprise. CPP survivor rules are just one place the fine print quietly costs you. Next, I'm breaking down how the CPP combined cap interacts with OAS and the survivor's clawback, the interaction that catches even careful planners. If you want to catch that, subscribe so you don't miss it.